Welcome to Fincarte, and a huge welcome to all the new subscribers. It's growing. The channel's growing. I'm really pleased to see you here. Of course, I can't see you, but you can see me. Summer arrived. Woohoo! No, at the moment it's not too bad. We're up round about 30 degrees. 31, 32 is the most we've had over the last couple of weeks. And then we had a thunderstorm, which is great, cooled everything down a little bit. The real summer starts July and August. The locals consider summer, July, August, the worst time of year ever. It gets so hot, so intensely hot that you just can't do anything. You can't go out until the sun goes down, and then 15 minutes after the sun goes down, the earth gives off all the heat that it's absorbed during the day, and it's just as hot as it was. So we can be up at anything from 35 to 42 Celsius. Thankfully, summer's not very long. It's usually just 6-8 weeks, and then everything goes back to being wonderful. Coriander. We're trying to be self-sufficient here. And the biggest shock about trying to be self-sufficient wasn't really growing the stuff. It's the amount of time and space that you need to keep your produce, to preserve it, to have it in a state where you can be self-sufficient all year. The one thing we do really, really well here is dehydrating stuff. And today's video is all about dehydrating. Over the last couple of years, I've been experimenting with drying all sorts of things. Some turned out really great, and I will continue to do that. Others, not so much. Guess what that is? No, you're probably wrong. Dried butternut squash. Yep. I sliced it, put it out in the sun, a couple of days, turned it. Ta-da! Now, I have used it. Soups and stews. You pour water onto it, or you put it in soup, or put it in stew, casserole, something like that. And it's fine. It rehydrates like mushy butternut squash. Very mushy butternut squash. But yeah, it works, but I probably won't do that again. But hey, I mean, you know, the end of the world stuff, Yeah, you would, but no. These. They're dried broad beans, also known as fava beans. And I have about 5 kilos of fresh broad beans in the freezer. But I had so many, and this is what you want when you're trying to be self-sufficient. You want lots and lots of stuff. I dried the rest. They turned purple, which I was a bit concerned about, because when I looked on the internet, they were nearly all sort of greeny grey, dried broad beans. But then I did discover that there are purple varieties. And I have, since drying, I have tried to cook them. I soaked them overnight. I cooked them for a few minutes, took them off the heat, took the skins off, which you can't really eat the skins, and then put them back on to finish cooking, and they were delicious. I mean, I will do this again. They were absolutely spot on. And there are tons of recipes, in particular Middle Eastern recipes, that you use dried broad beans. Time consuming? Yeah, that goes without saying. All these things take time and effort. And why should you do it when you can just go and buy a tin of whatever? That's up to you to decide. Would you rather just go and buy a tin or a jar, or do you want to do it yourself? No judgment. No. This is something that I would do again. Whoops. Painstaking work. Time consuming. I haven't got anything else to do. Got a million things to do, but this is one of them. If it doesn't get done, it's dried. What's going to happen to it? So this is going to make a terrible mess, and I don't quite know how I'm going to do it.
One dozen.
That's what happens when you let your chickens free range. You think they're just taking a day off laying, and they've actually stashed their eggs somewhere else. Oh, go away. There's a wasp. Right.
I have already.
We don't throw anything away. I am filming, you know. But I'm not filming you. But I can.
Yeah, all right.
Na, 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 na. Tell everybody what you're making.
I'm making mosquiteras.
What's a mosquitera?
I'm sure there's a joke.
The three mosquiteras.
3 mosquiteras, yeah. It's an insect screen for the windows.
So now you know. well, that's 3 hours of my life I will never get back. Other things I dehydrate: onion powder. Again, slice up excess onions, put them in the sun, turn them regularly, whiz them up in a grinder. But one of the best things, one of my most favorite things, and I do it all the time and it's really easy, is I make mushroom powder. Now, you might not have the kind of weather and the low humidity that we have that makes drying really easy, but you may well have been into your fridge, into the veggie drawer in your fridge, and realized that you've forgotten about some mushrooms. And they look like... You're not supposed to drop them. And they look like this. This is the mushroom stalk that's dried out in the bottom of the fridge. And the bottom of the fridge is actually one of the best places to dry the occasional mushroom stalk. Every time I use a mushroom, I detach the stalk and I bung it back in the bottom of the fridge, or I put it on top of the oven. I just stick it somewhere and I forget about it. And when it looks like the one I dropped, when it's all dried up, then I grind it in a spice mill, or a coffee grinder would work, food processor, whatever you've got. And you end up with a powder that looks like that. The mushroom smell is overpoweringly fantastic. It's just amazing. And you can keep this forever. And you can make anything with it. You can use it as a rub on meat that's going on the barbecue. You can put it into soup. You can put it into a casserole or a stew. You can include it in a burger mix. You can add it to a white sauce to make it a mushroom sauce. And believe me, it's a better mushroom sauce than putting fresh mushrooms into a mushroom sauce. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. It's really, really appreciated. Make a comment, give us a thumbs up, share the video. Woo! Let's do that again. Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't get easier. More than a year and I'm still no good at this. Sorry, I've got a dog licking my leg. Focus.